Polygamy simply means greed, unsatisfaction, the desire to want more. Every creature on earth, including animals, has this nature of being unsatisfied with what they have. And this was never the nature of God for man. Man became polygamous out of greed, out of lust. Now, using the story of Adam, the plan of God for man was for man to solely depend in him. But man made a choice of self-dependence. Man began to depend in his own will, in his own desire, in his own lust. The greed of more prompted man to disobedience, bettered the fruit of sin in a man. Let's look at the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 8. And the Lord God planted a garden eastwards in the Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed, the man he created in his will. And out of the garden and out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to thy sight, and good for food. Good for food. That which is God's will for man, where man should depend on, where the life of man should depend on, where the desire of man should depend on. But here, man made a choice. The tree of life also in the midst of this garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God fixed a plan and instructed man of all the trees in this garden. Let's go to 16 quickly. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of all the trees of this garden thou mayest freely eat, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat, for in the day thou shalt eat thereof, thou shalt surely die. The day you began to depend in your own will, the tree of the good and evil is the wisdom of man. The day you will depend on your own will, that is the day your downfall began. Of all the trees, thou shalt not eat of the tree of the good and evil. That was an instruction. But man chose to go out of God's instruction